Hello again, Vinyl Community Matt here, and I have another eBay haul video. Some more 12 inches and 7 inches here. So for those of you who saw one of my recent videos where I talked about a particular seller on eBay, and I showed the username and showed some of the items that he was selling, he or she actually, I'm not sure if it was a man or a woman. But there's actually a second seller that I bought a couple of lots from, very similar, to the point that it makes me think they're affiliated. Now, it's a different eBay username, but they're in the UK, they offer free worldwide shipping, all their prices start at 99p, and they list large lots at any one time. So I kind of think it's gotta be the same person, or at least they're associated in some way. But I'm not sure. Now, I didn't show them in my last video because they didn't have any items for sale at the time, and these were all from close to a month ago. So anyway, let's dive in. Mostly 80s and 90s. There's some some pop, some dance, some house type of stuff in here. So let's start off with the 12-inch records. And this was the one. This first one is the one I paid the most for. It's Paul Brooks' Steps from Beyond. This is a fairly rare album. The sleeve is not in the best of shape, but the record looks okay. It looks pretty decent. And this is pretty early, like electronic music. It's got disco elements to it, and I mean, I love the artwork. Look at that. I think it's all instrumental, from what I remember. And each side is literally one long track. So let me show you the record. It's on State Records. In fact, yeah, the record's in very nice condition. There's a couple of little minor hairline scratches, but nothing too serious. So State Records right there. And this is from 1978. And yeah, this is, I think, by far the one I paid the most for. I got into a little bit of a bidding war. I think this ended up costing like $8. Which is still reasonably cheap for this album, but yeah, probably more than I should have paid for it. Anyway, next up we have the 12-inch single of D-Ream's You're the Best Thing. I've shown two of D-Ream's 12-inch singles already that I have. I have Things Can Only Get Better and Shoot Me With Your Love. So this kind of fits right in between those. This was released kind of after Things Can Only Get Better. I say kind of, it gets a bit confusing because both You Are the Best Thing and Things Can Only Get Better were released multiple times before they finally made it big. But anyway, this is on, I'm trying to see what label this is on. FXU, looks like it's a Warner Music imprint. This was released in 90. IEC, look, it has a copyright 92, 93 on it, which makes me think that this is an earlier version. I'm not sure. Well, although the artwork here is from the time, which should be around 1994, so I don't know, we'll find out. Anyway, next up we have the 12-inch single of Chicane, Offshore. This is a great dance track. Actually, I would say it's like club / dance music. I don't recognize the label. Edel or Edel, EDEL, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, what a great track that is. It's a little bit of a club classic, like in the sort of mid-90s. This has always been played in the clubs. It was on a lot of dance compilations at the time too. Next up we have an album. This is Midgeo's The Gift. Now Midgeo, of course, was well, he was the lead singer of Ultravox, but he was also famous for being the co-creator of Band-Aid, and he was also heavily involved in Live Aid as well. This has his UK #1 hit If I Was on it, which is the main reason I bought it. This is a good deal. One thing as well, this is another thing that makes me wonder if it's the same seller. They often have these, see these price stickers? That Kerry Carter seller, the one from eBay that was in my recent video, the same thing with the price stickers. So I think it's gotta be the same person. But £8. That would probably be about right for this album. I think I only paid 2 or 3 for it. It's on Chrysalis. Yeah, and this was released in 1985. Okay. Next we have the 12-inch single of Dreamer by Live and Joy. Again, this is a mid-90s dance classic. I'm pretty sure it was a #1 in the UK. This has several mixes on it. And yeah, I mean, I love the artwork too. All of the beads of water. Next up, another 90s dance track. We have Motivate, Rockin' For Myself. Now, I thought this featured Kim Mazel, but I don't see her name mentioned anywhere on here, so that's an interesting little tidbit. I don't know why that would be, unless this is like an earlier mix of it, but I don't think so, because the copyright's 94. But now that I think about it, see, this track with Kim Mazel was originally released in 93, and now I'm thinking about it, I think it was re-released in 94. Maybe this is the later version of it, although I still thought it was featuring Kim Mazel, even with the re-release, so I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. 12-inch single of Killer by Adamski. Now that's a classic. That is I guess it's house music from 1990. It's on the white MCA label right here. Of course, famously featuring vocals by Seal, who would kind of, about a year later, would burst into the mainstream in his own right. He made it big with Crazy, but yeah, I like the artwork on this too. It's kind of cool. Next, we have the 12-inch single of Steve Seal Curly's Jack Your Body. #1 hit in the UK from early 1987, I think it was. Well, it's interesting. This isn't a copyright of 1985. I'm sure this was released in 87, unless it was re-released. I don't know. I'll have to look at more information about that, but this is a very early house track, and it's a little bit of a classic. Next up, now, don't laugh, I thought this was a 12-inch single. It turns out to be an album. Anyway, Charlene, I've Never Been To Me. I can put my hands up. I always liked this song. I didn't particularly want the album, especially as the sleeve is only in so-so condition, but the record actually looks practically mint, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't know any of the other songs, but I've Never Been To Me was a pretty big hit in the UK. It was also famously used in the opening scene of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So, yeah. Next up, speaking of dance/club classics, Flaming June by BT. Now, this is an amazing track. If this is your kind of music, it's an amazing track. It has a very slightly textured sleeve. This, I don't know what this is in the middle. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know what that is, but it's this has a slightly different texture to the rest of the sleeve. I used to have the CD single of this back in the 90s as a teenager, and this record is on the Perfecto label. Yeah, very cool. And I won this for cheaper than I thought. It's not a particularly common record, so I mean, you know, it's not super rare, but it's not usually particularly cheap either. We have another album next. Actually, the last two 12 inches are both albums. Kim Wilde's Close album. Now, this has some great tracks on it. This is from 1988, I think, or 87. 88. And I think I know 4 tracks on here. Hey Mr. Heartache, You Came, 4-Letter Word, and Never Trust a Stranger. Those are all great tracks. Especially, I think, Never Trust a Stranger. That's a really good pop song with kind of dance elements to it. This is on MCA as well. Nice red MCA label. Pretty sure this is a US pressing. Actually, no, this would be a UK pro. These all came from the UK. I'm sorry. Well, usually it'll say, like, you know, MCA Records London. Oh, it does. Okay, so this is a UK pressing. I don't know why I thought it was US. But yeah, Very pleased to pick that up. Final 12-inch record is White Feathers by Kajagoogoo. Kajagoogoo, of course, the famous lead singer was Lamar, who later had moderate solo success with the Neverending Story soundtrack. But yeah, this has Too Shy on it, which was a #1 in the UK in 1983, I think. Pretty sure. It also has Ooh To Be Ah, and I think Hang On Now was also released as a single from this album. And let's see what labels this on. This is on EMI. Yeah. It's in pretty nice condition. I was very pleased with the condition of this one, and the Kim Wilde one. Kim Wilde's in beautiful condition. Now all of these records still need cleaning, so I haven't had a chance to listen to them yet, but I'm still going through that last patch. Anyway, let's move on to the 7-inch singles. Some real classics in here. Beat This by Bomb the Bass. Again, this is a house music song, absolute stone cold classic. It's got a lot of samples in it, and I mean, Bomb the Bass was basically one guy, like in his bedroom, putting out these records. Let's see. Next we have Dollar Au L'Amour. This is a cover version of the Erasure song. I have to be honest with you, it's vastly inferior to the Erasure song. The Erasure song's way better, but it's the only Dollar record that I have, and I think it was only 99p. You know, so why not? I did get a Dollar album that I ordered off eBay a little while ago, but I haven't shown it. I haven't even brought it home. It's still at work because I get all my deliveries at work. I didn't bring it home because it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It turned out to be basically a re-release of their first album that their old record company put out before, or right as Dollar was switching to a new record company. They just relabeled it and called it Greatest Hits. Well, it really wasn't. So I'm looking at it thinking, okay, where's this song? Where's that song? Where's that? So I Googled it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't have bought that. Because I'm not so in, you know, I did give a couple of the tracks a listen online. Was not impressed. I prefer the 80s, the like mid 80s stuff versus the very early 80s / late 70s stuff. Anyway, next up we have No Memory by Scarlet Fantastic. This is a really good song. UK hit in 1987. It's I guess it's alt rock, right? That's what I would call it, alternative rock. Next up we have Maria McKee, Show Me Heaven. This is from the Days of Thunder movie. You can see the logo down here. And actually, I didn't even notice before. That's the outline of Tom Cruise's face right there. I hadn't even noticed. Next up, this is kind of a terrible song, but I got it for the sentimental reasons. Carol Fialka, and the name of the song is Hey Matthew. This is a pretty big hit in the UK in '87. I remember this being in the charts and watching the music video. I got it because I had it as a kid, and I liked it as a kid because it had my name in it, Matthew. And I always remember my next door neighbor saying this song reminded me of her, or reminded her of me, I'm sorry. So I got it purely for the nostalgia. It's on the IRS label. I think it was a top 10 hit in the UK. I'm pretty sure it was. He was kind of a one-hit wonder, Carol Fialka. But oh, and Matthew, I'm sorry, Matthew's the kid here. That was his son. So yeah, there they are. All right. Next up, we have Westworld, Sonic Boom Boy. Pretty big hit in the UK in very early '87. Yeah, it's just it's a pop song. Next we have this is a great cover version. Jealous Guy by Roxy Music. What a song this is to begin with. I mean, Lennon's version is no slouch. It's great. I think the Roxy Music, it at least gives Lennon a run for his money. Let's put it that way. And when was that? 1980? 1981. Yeah. Next up, a guy whose name I can never pronounce. Zukiro, featuring Paul Young, or Zukiro, or Zakiro. Somebody can correct me. Senza Una Donna, Without a Woman. This is a really nice song. I always liked it. Interestingly, this says it's from 1990 or 91. 1991. That's way. I thought this was from the 80s. I really did. I thought this is from like the late 80s, but okay, from 1991. Next up, bit of a new wave classic, Quiet Life by Japan. Gotta have that. Oh, that's on the Hansa label. It's, I think it's a German label. Although now that I think about it, was Japan a German new wave act? It might have been. I don't know. Next up, don't laugh. Angry Anderson, Suddenly. Yeah. Now, I actually already have this, but this is a picture sleeve, so I was thinking this might be an upgrade copy. Although the one I have is okay. I mean, it doesn't... I don't think it has any major scratches or anything, but yeah, I always like the sleeve, whereas I just have a generic sleeve for the copy that I already had. Now, this was a theme song from the Australian soap opera Neighbours. I'm sorry, not a theme song. It was used in one of the episodes where two of the characters, Scott, played by Jason Donovan, Charlene, played by Kylie Minogue, where they get married on the show, and this music's playing at the wedding when they get married. This was a top 5, I think maybe in the top 3 here in the UK. I think it got to like number 3 in 1988, late 88. And it's not bad. I like it. I do quite like it. Alright, next up we have Chad Jackson, Hear the Drummer Get Wicked. This is a... Oh, I guess it's house music technically. It's like it's real dirty. Like, do you know what I mean? From 1990, and I always kind of liked it. It was on quite a lot of compilation albums at the time, but I did not have it on anything else on vinyl, so what the heck. I don't think anybody else bid on that. Next we have Frida Payne, Band of Gold. This is just in a generic sleeve. It's not even the right sleeve, this pie sleeve. This is from 1970, and this was, I'm pretty sure this was a #1 in the UK. Great song. Next we have Kites by Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. This was a top 20 hit in the UK in 1967. Bit of a one-hit wonder, Simon Dupree. Didn't really have much else, but I really love the old Parlophone labels from the 60s. I think it's partly because all of the pre-Apple Beatles songs were on that label, and it's nostalgic because my parents had a ton of records when I was a kid that were on this label. But also, it's not a bad track, and I won it for 99p, so why not, right? Next we have Robin Beck, First Time. #1 hit in the UK in late 1988, and it was used in an advert for Coca-Cola, which you can kind of see here, and you can definitely see on the back right there. There's the logo. But it's really good. Yeah, it's a rock song, soft rock. Yeah, it's pretty good. I always kind of liked it. Next we have Bird of Paradise by Snowy White. I was kind of surprised to see this. Not every day that I see this anywhere, whether it's on eBay or anywhere else. And it's oh, I don't even know what kind of music it is. I always considered it to be rock music, but it's a synthesizer heavy rock song, let's put it that way. This is from let me see what year this is. Like 84, I think, but 1983. Next up we have Let's Dance by Chris Rea. This might be my favorite Chris Rea song. I really like it. This is from 1987, I think. Yeah, 87. And I like the back because somebody's written on it. It says 21st of June. I wish you had the year, but the year might have been 1987 because this did come out around that time. And I know that because this is on the Hits Album 6, which is a UK compilation, which came out somewhere between April and June. I forget the exact month of 1987. So it was in the charts around that time, and it says To Dad, Love from Lisa and Ben. A lot of XXXXXs. So probably two kids that bought this record for their dad, maybe for a birthday, I would think, in June. Maybe for Father's Day. Was Father's Day... I should look that up. I bet this was Father's Day. 21st of June, that would have been... I gotta look that up. Yeah, wait right there. I gotta look that up. Yeah, Father's Day in 1987 was on the 21st of June. So, Lisa and Ben, wherever you are, well, I am a father, so, which, you know what? This is gonna be the official announcement. So I am a father. I have a 1-year-old daughter, but my wife and I actually are expecting our second child as well, which we just found out the gender last weekend, and it's going to be another girl, so it's very exciting. Not due until November, so we have several months to go. So yeah, my wife's not even quite halfway through the pregnancy yet, but we do know it's a girl. But anyway, yeah, Lisa and Ben. One way or another, this ended up with a father, even if it wasn't your father. So I just think I like that. That's a personal touch, you know, and I like knowing that this gift that they gave to their dad 31 years ago, it hasn't been lost. Hasn't been thrown in the trash, and it's not buried 20 feet under, you know, in a landfill or something. That somebody actually still has this. And will listen to it. You know, I just think that's neat. Anyway, two more, final two. Right said Fred, I'm too sexy. Come on. I mean, you know, no, I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, a big hit in the UK, 91. Was this a number one? The follow-up, Deeply Dippy, was a number one. This was number one or number two, I think. I can't remember. Maybe two. And then finally, last but not least, All About Eve and their song Martha's Harbour. This is an interesting, I don't know what genre to put this as, slightly alternative acoustic. I've heard some people describe it as almost new wave. I don't know about that, but it is a little alternative. And big hit in the UK in '88. I don't remember what number it got to. I think it was easily top 10. It might have even been top 5. They became a little bit, unfortunately, a little bit infamous for a terrible performance on Top of the Pops. That was not their fault, but Top of the Pops, for those of you who don't know, was a British music show that was shown every week. I think it was on Wednesdays, but I can't remember. And I used to watch it religiously, especially when I was a younger kid. And it was a 30-minute show, and they ran through the chart countdown, starting at 40 all the way down to 1. And they did it in kind of sections, like they would do 40 to 31, then they would play a song, then you would get maybe positions 30 to 11, they'd play a couple more tracks, and then you'd get like the top 10, and they would play the number one song. So you would end up with listening to several songs. And artists very rarely performed live on Top of the Pops, and they were no exception. So All About Eve are sitting down, waiting to start playing. The music starts, but there's a problem with, I don't know if they had studio monitors or if they had like the earphones in, but the music wasn't coming out. They couldn't hear it playing, so they didn't know the song had started. So they just sat there kind of, okay, the music's going, and suddenly the vocals start in the song, and they're just sat there. Anyway, I think they were invited back the following week, and they got through it without any hiccups. But yeah, it wasn't their fault. It's just one of those things. But yeah, that's it. So that's all I got. Thank you guys as always for watching. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who comments and subscribes. If you do like this video, please click the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, everybody. Bye bye.